Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at Parkhurst The Richmond and the new 618 last in the Apollo colorway. Now Parkhurst did send me these as a sample for review, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Parkhurst product publication. They will see this when you do. In addition to that, there is an affiliate link in the description box down below. If you're considering buying these boots or any other product from Parkhurst, please consider using that link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do earn a small commission from that sale, and all that money goes back to the channel to help me produce more content so consumers can make informed purchasing decisions. So I'm not a stranger to Parkhurst. Actually, one of my favorite boots is the Parkhurst The Richmond in the 602M last. So this was one of my very first boots that I got when I started doing menswear. I double checked. I've had these now for about 18 months. And these are probably one of my most worn boots. Now, I do have a lot of great boots. If you checked out the channel before, you'll see I've reviewed some great boots from a lot of companies. But I have 3 pairs of boots that I will consider my bug out boots. The zombie apocalypse hits tonight, and I got to throw 1 pair of footwear on my feet to have for the foreseeable future, if not the rest of my days. This is one of those 3 pairs of boots. I absolutely love the Parkhurst The Richmond. And this 602M last, this thing, you could see the heel is well worn. I love these things. I wear them a lot. So these are incredibly comfortable. So when I saw that there was a new last, the 618, I wanted to check this thing out. Now, the main difference with this is that this is a true cap toe. So there is a piece of leather that goes all the way to the toe, and this is a secondary piece of leather that is sewn on the top. So when you see this cap here, this is a true cap toe. While the 602M, the older version, this is not a true cap toe. This is a single layer of leather that is just sewn together at the vamp to give it the appearance of being a cap toe. Now, people like this for a couple reasons. They like the aesthetic of a cap toe, so they want something that looks like a cap toe. But a single layer, it's going to be a lot more flexible, so they're going to be a little bit more comfortable, easier to break in. There's less leather there. And I will say this is, again, an incredibly comfortable boot. This is like one of my 2 pairs of boots if I'm going to the city for a long weekend and I'm going to wear a pair of boots. This is one of the 2 pairs of boots I will grab, and most likely I'm grabbing these over the other pair. But they're a little bit more comfortable, a little easier to break in. But honestly, I didn't have any break-in issues with these at all. I went right into wearing these, and it's been some pretty crappy winter weather conditions. It's snowing right now. I've got maybe 3 inches on the ground. We got like 6 or 8 last week, lots of rain. So these have been in a lot of weather conditions. We'll talk about that for the Waxy Commander leather from CF Stead, but I didn't have any break-in issues. They worked really, really well. Sizing, per their sizing suggestions, they do suggest that if you wear your Brannock in the 602M, to size up a half a size in the 618. So I did that. My Brannock size is an 8.5D, although I'm gonna have to get myself remeasured because all this running, my feet have certainly smashed down and they're a little bit wider. I'm probably bordering on an E at this point, but these are an 8.5D in the 602M. So I did go, per their suggestion, with a 9D in the 618. And when I got them, they were a tiny bit big. I wouldn't say they were like a full half size too big. Like I think it's been a while since I double checked, but I believe, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, the difference between a half size is 1/4 inch. So it's not that much of a difference in the length, but sometimes it gives you a little bit more room in the width. So I did get this in the 9 per their suggestion. I found it to be just a tiny bit big, and then I remembered I actually had a pair of Rose Anvil boot breakers. I got these for a different pair of boots that was notoriously hard to break in. So I had these, and these are just the thin 2 mils. I plopped these inside the boot, and no fit issues at all. Just that tiny bit that was they're a tiny bit too big. This little 2 mil boot breaker, this took up that little bit of space, and it's completely fine. Now these are actually made, the boot breaker, they're helped break in boots, but they make these in 2, 4, and 6 mil in the foam. They also make veg tan leather ones, but yeah, this 2 mil, it's made to not take up a lot of space while you're trying to break in a boot, but I just needed that tiny little bit, so the 2 mil boot breaker was perfect. So now I have 0 fit issues when I'm wearing these. They don't feel a little bit big at all. I will say I might have had a tiny bit of heel slip originally when I was just rocking the Parkhurst leather insoles, but as soon as I put the boot breaker in there, I was completely fine. I didn't have any heel slippage, I didn't have any discomfort, and now I've been able to wear these for an extended period of time. I'll put my boots on at about 7 in the morning, and sometimes I'm not taking them off till 8 or 9 at night. So I can wear these for 13 plus hours. We'll say average day is probably 10 to 12 hours average, but I can certainly wear these for 13 to 14 hours in the day and be completely fine. So if you're looking at their size guide and they're suggesting you, because you have a 602M, to jump up a half a size, depending upon the width of your foot, you might be able to get away with still going with your Brannock size, but I do highly recommend you get a pair of these boot breakers. They're pretty reasonable. I don't remember offhand, but I think they're right around $20, and it's just a really nice little piece to have, because now you can use these to help break in pesky boots that have a very stiff insole, a lot of veg tan insoles. While they will mold to your foot, they are kind of uncomfortable at first, depending upon how thick they are, so this does help that quite a bit. But when you need to take up just that tiny little bit extra space, these boot breakers, they worked out really, really well. Another thing you might notice is that I have these green laces in these boots. That's a happy accident. I actually really like the way these look. I did have the leather laces in these when I got them. They came laced with the leather, and I think I've mentioned this in the unboxing that in the past I've not been historically a fan of leather laces. I find that they don't stay tied. I did recently do a different brand that had the leather laces, and they actually worked out really, really well. So I did give these a go, and while I found them to stay tied fine, my issue with the leather laces was when I was trying to lace and unlace with the speed hooks, they're a little thick. The leather was getting hung up on the speed hook, so I wanted to switch out for the wax cotton laces. Then I couldn't find the wax cotton laces that came with them because they came with a brown pair. And then I was trying to set up for this, and I grabbed my old 602Ms, and I looked inside. I threw the laces for the new 618 last inside the old 602, and I put these on the shelf instead of in the drawer that I keep all of my laces in. I must have just did it while I was talking, didn't even realize it because I couldn't find them. This was the only pair of wax laces I had, so I put those in, and then I looked at them, I'm like, I really like that look. So Parkhurst, if you see this, this Apollo colorway, it looks really, really hot with a pair of olive wax cotton laces. It just looks really, really good. So I'm kind of happy that I couldn't find the brown cotton ones and these green ones, because I really like the way they look. So comfort wise, completely fine. Size wise, tiny bit big, but boot breaker, now they fit completely fine. Now, these are made with leather from the historic CF Stead Tannery. This is the Waxy Commander. It's in the name, the Richmond, the Waxy Commander, and the Apollo colorway. Now, the Waxy Commander leather is part of their waterproof line of leather. Now, it is skin, which means it's porous, but it's waxed, so that it's waxed flesh, so that's what keeps the water out. Now, you will have to eventually reapply a wax to these, so I don't like to say waterproof. I will call them weatherproof. Now, while I have not stood in standing water, I have been in rain, pretty substantial rain, snow, and today it kind of warmed up, so when I was coming home from work, it was probably kind of slushy and snow, and I had to brush my car off, so my feet were getting covered in snow as I was brushing the car off, and I didn't get wet at all. I didn't get a drop of water came through these. So the Waxy Commander leather, and I can also again attest to it from the old 602M, this is also Waxy Commander leather. It works great. I've been in far more rainstorms in the old version than I have in the new version, but the same leather, the CF Stead Tannery Waxy Commander leather, and the leather is great. Now, I historically have been a darker leather fan. I don't remember the name of this one offhand. If you really want to know, I'll put the link to the original video that I did on these up there. I say it, but these have also darkened quite a bit from wear and from salvage denim. I think my my Ironheart Indigo Nindigos really crocked on these, but this lighter Apollo colorway, I love it. I actually absolutely love this colorway. I had requested a different colorway, like a grayish colorway. I can't remember what it's called offhand, but I wanted something different because I have a lot of brown boots. I have one pair of black boots and 95% brown boots. So I wanted something a little bit different. They didn't have a lot available in that size in stock wise, so they asked if they could send me the Apollo instead. I was like, you know what, it's a little bit lighter. Yeah, let's check that out. And I love it. I love this Apollo colorway. You can see it is darkening, and there's some crocking you can see going on, even though I've mostly been wearing a pair of So-So Brother jeans that are indigo and white weft, so there's not a lot of as much crocking as I got in the older pair because I'm wearing a pair of jeans with a white weft, but there still is some crocking going on there, and it's not that bad, but it does add to a little bit of wear. And also you can see that there's some, I guess, scarring, if you will, in the heels, and that's the way I sit when I'm at work at the desk. I will cross my legs at the ankle, and I will often sit there like this, So it's kind of from the toe of my other boot hitting me in the heel, and then also, I guess sometimes you could see a little bit of wear. Yeah, it's not really focusing in, but you can see there's a little bit of wear there from kicking the boots off. Generally, I kick my left boot off with my right boot, and then I take my right boot off either with my left socked foot or my hand. So more so on the heel of the left boot than the right. But all of that scarring from kicking the boot on and off, it really just adds to the patina and the wear of the boot. And this lighter colorway, that's the Apollo, I really like it because I think this is showing some more of that scarring. So the darker leathers, while they do darken up nicely, you can see it on the toe from a lot of the scuffing, but the darker leathers, you see a lot more of the darkening going on than some of that scarring, if you will. So the lighter ones show it, and I like it. I like that. It shows a lot of the patina. It shows you're wearing the boots. I'm not one for a nice, pristine thing. Now, yes, there are certain garments and like a suit and even some dress shoes or boots that I want to make them look nice. Indefinitely if I can, because I wear them when I dress up. But my everyday stuff, the stuff that I'm wearing out, I like when it gets a little beat up, a little worn. I think it actually just adds to the character of the boot. It makes them look that much cooler, and I just love the patina of leather and like denim as it ages and wears, and you see the fades and the scratches and the scars and the leather. I think it just looks awesome. So they're aging really, really well. Now, what can you wear these with? Now, it is a cap toe, so it is a very casual looking boot. A plain toe boot you can get away with dressing up a little bit more. A brown boot wearing with some khakis, wear it to the office if you have to do a business casual look. Now, personally, I would still wear these to the office business casual. I do work in an office building. I don't have to wear slacks or khakis anymore. I can wear jeans. I mostly just wear jeans, but every once in a while I do have to dress up and I have to wear some khakis, and I still wear like khaki pants. I have a couple of different pairs of pants that I like to wear when I'm not doing the Indigo Invitational, and I will still wear these with a nicer button down and like a pair of khakis, but mostly this is a casual looking boot. So you're gonna wanna wear these with jeans. You can wear these with something like, I have the Relwyn, the flyweight military pant. They would look good with something like that, like a military style pant, a khaki or a olive slack that has a little bit looser leg. It would look really good with them. With the tops, I mean, I've been wearing a lot of cardigans. I wear this Welland cardigan. I wear the Winchester shawl cardigan from Iron and Resin. I wear them with those, or sweatshirt on top, and then I usually wear them with whatever jacket depending upon the weather. If it's real cold, I'm wearing something like a deck jacket. If it's a little warmer, I'm wearing something like the Iron and Resin Cruiser I've been wearing a lot, or my Flint and Tinder flannel line or wool line wax trucker jackets. So I'll wear them with a variety of things, but just about everything I wear these with is a more casual look. So you're probably going to want to wear these with a more casual look, a pair of denim, a pair of pants that aren't necessarily a pair of slacks, like something like a military themed pants, something like that. I think they'll work really, really well with. And I think these are going to be able to wear these all day long. Now, while my heels aren't quite as worn on the 618 as my 602s, I think this is another boot that I could potentially wear as a bug out boot. Again, fit has been great, feel has been great, finish, it's great. This waxy Commander leather is really, really nice. I do really like the upgrade to the actual real cap toe, the double toe, the cap toe, as opposed to just having a single layer sewn together at the vamp. I like that quite a bit. I didn't find that it was too thick, or I felt like it was too stiff breaking it in. I didn't have any break-in issues. I didn't have any wear, any hot spots, blisters, anything like that on my foot. The only issue really that I found was that the leather laces were just a tiny bit too thick for the speed hooks, and they kind of got hung up, and I just found it to be a little bit annoying, so I switched to a wax cotton lace. Again, the green ones did not come with these boots because stupidly, haphazardly, without me thinking, I threw the brown wax laces inside my old pair of Parkhurst and then put them on the shelf instead of in the drawer where I normally keep my laces. So this was the only pair I had, but happy accident. I really like the way that this olive lace looks with the Apollo colorway. So do I think that they're worth a $378 price tag? Yeah, I do. They're a really comfortable boot. I really like them. Again, one of the first boots that I got when I started to review menswear and got into footwear was my pair of Parkhurst The Richmonds in the 602M, and I still wear them to this day, and they're one of my top 3 favorite, most comfortable pairs of boots. Now, yes, I know a lot of people are going to compare this to another boot from a different brand that is very similar in the same price point, and honestly, that's a great boot too. I have them. I love them. That's probably one of my other 3 pairs of boots, but there's just been something about the Parkhursts These, the Richmonds, I love these. These are so comfortable. I probably wear my old 602Ms more than that other pair of boots. I really, really, truly love these boots. These are so incredibly comfortable, and I think the 618 is gonna follow in suit. It has the true cap toe instead of the single layer sewn together with the vamp. I like that it has a little bit beefier of a heel. I think the write-up said that the new 618 had a pointier toe, but I'm finding that the 618 compared to my 602s, this has a more rounded toe, so I like that look of a little bit more rounded toe. Yeah, so I liked everything about the 602M, and I really like the upgrades that they have made to the 618 last. So yeah, I think it's worth it. It's a great boot. It's really comfortable. It's stitched down construction, so if you do wear out the sole, you can have these resoled. You know, it's good. It's solid CF Stead waxy commander leather, so you can wear it out in the elements. Yeah, I've just been very, very pleased with it. Again, definitely one of my most worn boots has been my old version of these, and I really think that the 618 is just going to slide right in there because I'm not feeling any real differences, especially since I threw that little 2mm boot breaker in there. They feel basically the same as my old boots, just with a couple upgrades that I really appreciate. So I think that they are worth a $378 price point. It's a solid boot. It's a well-built boot. I haven't had any issues with it in the heat, in the snow, in the rain. I haven't gotten wet, and I've been comfortable every time I've worn these boots. So if you're looking at them, I think it's a solid purchase. I would definitely suggest that you buy them if you're looking at them, because one of my favorite colors is no longer available, but I think I might have a new favorite color because this Apollo is pretty awesome. I like this little bit lighter brown. It is darkening. It has darkened quite a bit since I got them, but really, really liking the look and the patina that this Apollo colorway is taking on. So there you go. There you have it. I hope this helped just a little bit in your potential buying decision. So with that, if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.